fill the barn up with smoke. Had a request, somebody wanted me to do a live stream from the barn, so here we are. Says we're live. Me and Little Red. I am trying to get this to work. I hope it works. It's getting cold here. I've been out here trying to get our boat winterized. That reminds me, I gotta unhook some faucets. We're gonna get down to 18, I think, or 20, somewhere around there this evening. Hey, I got a few people watching, looks like. Soldier Dirt, Elite, good grief, you guys are quick. I just started this deal. Cool. Hey, I want to show you, had a feller send me some stuff. How do you flip this camera? Forgive me, I'm on. This is all I got out here at the shop. Mr. Tim Ebert, thank you so much for the gloves. He sent me 3 boxes of welding rods. These gloves, I haven't had a chance to use them yet. He sent me some build-up rod. That's a Champion 8015. We've got a Red Baron 309. And he says this is a downhill low hydrogen. He sent me, I think they're 8 pounds a piece, 16 pounds of rods, and a nice pair of gloves. Pretty cool. The shop's a mess as usual. Little Red needs a bath. I just backed the Blue Ford in here just for the heck of it. We got MSL logging on here. Wow. I have yet to speak to you, but this is how we run the KW when it is cool. Especially with my big radiator. It does not like to run, it doesn't like this new radiator because I couldn't keep it warm with the small radiator. Now I got a bigger radiator, so, and I don't have a fan clutch on this truck. This truck never came with one. It had shutters originally, and I sure would like to find a new pair of them. Or a new set, whatever. It's probably not a pair, probably multiples. But anyway, yeah, it will not warm up. And I'm sorry if I miss your comment. Like I said, I'm on my phone. We got Diamond Rio on here too. That's another Frank right there. My tool chest, Eric's junk's over here. He's always bringing crap over here and leaving it. I have a small shop, so, you know, I don't have a lot of room, but, you know. But I'm hoping Mr. Tough F350 comes and joins us. The truck's dirty. This is kind of impromptu. I don't know if you can see me very good. I might be able to just set the phone up here or something. Phone's about dead, so I'm running on charger. This is the dash view. So anyway, well, hold still. More room than you have. When I built this barn, it was, we actually built it without borrowing money, so this was the size I could afford at the time, and I put a 6-inch slab underneath it, so you know, I can drive heavy stuff in here. I just can't get real wide stuff in here. How do I look at my comments? I'm missing some here. Okay, here we go. Well, I have trouble doing live streams off my Wi-Fi. The only way I can do them out here, it seems like, is with my just my phone. Where are you at, MSL? Are you the one are you the one Jason calls LSD logging? I'm not sure. I've been trying to catch up on that stuff, but I'm behind. Yep, okay. Appreciate the comment, appreciate the compliment. Rubber tire backhoe is what I do my work in. That's how I make a living. Sorry for the slamming the door noise. It's getting kind of chilly out here, so I had to shut the door. I didn't want to freeze up. MSL has called himself LSD. You got to watch them Russians. I got a video coming out tomorrow night. It's just a really short one. I wish I'd have made it a little bit longer. Going to be a premiere. It's just some footage I got going on. But I got to tell you about today. Today I went out to a job. It's for a local person up here. I was putting in some culvert pipe, and I'm beginning to think I can't trust my memory at all anymore, because I could have swore the neighbor had 48-inch culverts, 2 of them put in, and so when they called me and said, what do we need to get? I said, well, get 2 48-inch culverts. Well, I got them out there today, and we'll do some welding soon. Something's going to break. I can feel it. I'm sorry. Anyway, got out there and looked at those 48-inch culverts. They had them delivered up, and I ended up taking them back and getting 36s because I had a feeling it was going to look like Dolly Parton in a bikini compared to the neighbor's culverts. It was going to stand out, so I had to take those back. Got some I got some 36 inches culverts up, but there are going to be 2 of them running side by side. So if I would have went with the 48s, it would have been way too high. I am located in the middle of Oklahoma, just about 50 miles north of Oklahoma City is where I live. Most of my jobs are in Oklahoma City and that kind of stuff. MSL, where are you located at? But anyway, it's been a fun day loading up stuff and hauling it back to town, and you know, I could have probably put the 48-inch ones in there. North Carolina, did you get hit by the hurricane? I guess. I'm not sure where all that went out there, but it looked bad. Already fed. My daughter's asking if I fed the goats. I fed the goats, put the chickens up. Everything's ready for bed. Hopefully, we're all winterized because they're saying 20 degrees in the morning. But anyway, I was talking about the culvert pipes. I could have probably justified putting them in there and they probably would have worked. Roxy is probably sitting out there on a gator waiting for me to give her a run. She loves to run with the gator. So anytime the gator starts up and moves, she's there. And she's probably sitting on the floorboard right now waiting. How you doing down there in Texas? Did you dry out any, Albert? Tennessee line didn't get much down as down east. So I'm glad to hear you didn't get hit hard. Not a good thing. I didn't give anybody any warning on this one coming up. Albert says it's still a mess down there. Mud's going to freeze now. Yes, freezing mud is a possibility. We've actually been pretty dry around here. We had some rain yesterday morning. It was just enough to aggravate you. It wasn't that much, but things dried out pretty good today, but now we're going to be cold. So I'm not looking forward to this winter. I'm afraid it's going to be tough. Of course, it is November. It ought to be getting cold, right? Kind of hard to... The only thing about that freezing is, man, we get a good freeze, it'll be hard till about 10 o'clock in the morning, and then it thaws out, and then it's just, you know, we don't get enough cold here sometimes. It may happen this year, I'm not sure. Everybody's predicting it's going to be cold, it's going to be lots of snow. Not good for the dirt work business. And I don't, you know, a lot of the work that I do is basically for people that put in footings. So I don't have a lot of say in yay or nay whether we're going to dig or not. So a lot of times I get shut down just by the weatherman saying, hey, we got a chance of rain coming next week. And boy, it frustrates me. A lot of times they're not right. I hope we don't have a bad winter, but that's what it's looking like. Oh, there was Roxy. I don't know if you heard that. She may be sitting in front of the truck here. Well, that could be Sam. That's Sam. Never mind. Sam's a little yellow dog. I don't know if you've seen him on some videos, but he's a nuisance. Yeah, she's barking at her shadow, I think, is what's going on. Well, actually, that's Sam. So, Roxy is scared of the dark. She don't like coyotes. So, we got a dog door on the garage. She goes in. So, Sam, hush. Anything you guys want to see tonight? Anything you want me to do? I'm out in the barn. I can get out of the truck if you need me to. It's not that cold yet. I think we're down there right around 30 right now, but they're saying it's going to be 18 in the morning or 20 or something like that, but not looking forward to that at all. But my truck needs a little bit of maintenance done on it. I usually bring it in for brake adjustments once a month and grease everything, go through and kind of look over everything, make sure there's no busted springs or busted, you know, try to make sure everything's fairly safe. Brake adjustments my biggest deal. About once a month I need to do those. I have it's a small cam 290 was what came in this truck. It's a W900 built in 1973, and the original engine is a 290. I've got the original engine that came with this truck, and in about 2004 I completely rebuilt it. I had to pull it out, took it to a machine shop, had to remachine it for the lower press fit liners, had the heads reworked, new camshaft, polished the crank, everything's been, you know, so, but I've got it set up to 350 horsepower right now, so, and my maximum weight's normally around 40,000 or 39,000 pounds, so I'm not really pulling that much, and 15 speed overdrive is what I've got in it now, but I may go back to my 10. I'm having a vibration in this 15 speed I can't figure out. Project Ninja, welcome. Good to have you on my channel. My whatever this is. Is this a stream or I guess it's a stream? I love this little truck. This truck is my baby. I mean, a lot of guys might have a classic car they like to, you know, rebuild, but I get to drive mine to work every day. And it's not perfect. This truck is nowhere near perfect. It probably looks better in the videos. The technical footings, the video coming up, that's actually a jailhouse. That's why there's so many, and I'm a little disappointed I didn't get to go back. I got called off to another job. There will be some pretty cool stuff coming up though. Next video is going to be, I think you'll like it. It's going to be a little bigger, a little longer, and pretty neat project. I've been really blessed with some jobs that are out of the ordinary. I mean, I really like the I really like the jobs that are like, you know, off the wall, something that you've never seen before. So I got some of those coming up. And yes, Mr. MSL, this truck is simple. There's nothing on here that a mechanic that tries a little bit couldn't fix. The old Cummins engines are simple. Wiring diagram on this truck is something I could actually follow. So, you know, no def, no regen, you know, you just turn the key on and you start. I'm not afraid to drive this truck across the country. I mean, I can't because I'm not legal to run across the country, but I've had a couple trips out to Guyman, which is about 5 hours from here. Jump in it just like I would my pickup and go. But like I said, it does need attention. You do have to look at. You do have to watch things. You have to, you know, just be alert. Watch what you're doing. The backhoe I run is a 2007 model, and I probably have said in a couple of videos it's an 8, but it's a 7. I don't know why. Sometimes I think it's newer than it is, but I like that backhoe too because it's the old. It's a mechanical engine. Very little electronics on it. There's a little bit on there, but nothing major. So I think next week I've got another trip out to Stroud to redig that grease trap that we did. I think it was Let's Move It Again or something like that. We got to dig that hole for that grease trap finally. That's coming up next week, and I'm about 2 weeks behind on my videos. I don't always show stuff that's current, and there's a reason for that. If there is a problem with a job, I don't want to be, you know, I don't want to have video out there that might incriminate the people I work for or something like that. So I try to make sure everything's going well with the job before I put a video up on it. But I have a little bit of drone footage of a video coming up. Brandon's digging footings for a new KFC. Awesome. Hopefully they will haul you in some good select fill and you can make them look nice. Maybe you can get out of the rocks. I know he deals with a lot of rock up there. Soldier Dirt dried out a job with some lime. I hope he's not working for chicken. That's not worth it. A lot of people are intimidated by a Cummins engine, but if you understand, you know, these old, they call them PT or pressure time, and all your injection works off the camshaft, and it's a real simple system, and it works really well if you understand it. I always say a Cummins is a poor man's engine. I mean, if I had a cat, I'd probably go broke. I couldn't afford it. You gotta have something you can work on. You gotta have something you can afford. This truck, when I bought it, it was sitting at a junkyard. And if you look at some of my really old videos, it was painted a really crappy white color. And it wasn't until the middle of 2017 it got painted. So it didn't always look this neat. It looked pretty bad for a long time, but I still love it. I mean, you know, it's still a pretty good old truck for me. I'm not sure if this truck's actual miles was right, but if the speedometer was right when I bought it, it had right around 400,000 on it. It may have had 1,400,000, I don't know. But the speedometer hasn't worked since I put the 15 speed in it because it had an electronic pickup and I've got a mechanical, and that's another reason I'd kind of like to go back to my 10 speed. But before I change it back to the 10 speed, I want to convert my 10 speed to an overdrive. And that's the reason I changed it from a 10 to 15 to begin with, was so I'd have My max speed with the when you're in direct is like 60. You know, you can run 65 or 70, but it's really pushing it. Got a comment coming up there. But I don't remember what I was talking about here, but this old truck is you know, it's not real comfortable sometimes in the winter because, like I say, you got to really keep the radiator covered up to get some heat. Cummins engines like to run 180 degrees. If you run them any cooler than that, they're not really running very efficient. They like to have the fuel heated up pretty good. So that little dump truck you got is very handy though, Brandon. Sometimes I wish I had a dump bed on this one. This truck, if it gets below 44 or 43 degrees, it needs ether to start. And that's one of the downfalls of a Cummins, the small cam especially. The reason it does this, and I've had a lot of people tell me, you know, there's something wrong with your truck. But well, the 15 speed is actually a 10 speed with 5 lower gears, so it's pretty good. You know, you got 5 lower gears for when you get into the mud or you get into backing up into a tight spot, so it's pretty handy. 10 speed's really all I need in this lightweight truck. But like I was saying, the deal with the Cummins is on these older big cam, small cams, big cam 1, big cam 2, big cam 3, and big cam 4 were all set timing, so the timing doesn't adjust for cold weather like a Cat would or a Detroit, something like that. We might be selling a truck tonight, Brandon. I bought this truck in 1998 before I started my business. I started my business in 99. And if you looked at the way a lot of people run a backhoe business is with a 1-ton. And if I look back and looked at how many 1-tons, I've probably put 500,000 miles on this truck. So how many 1-tons do you think that would have taken to get me this far? And you're looking at 30 to 50,000 a pop. You know, a lot of people like the new stuff, the new 1-tons, but you got to update them. I'm not sure how you would haul his Traco with your dozer. You might figure that out. I see guys that get these little F350, F550 trucks, and you know they spend 60,000 on them, and they're in the shop like half the time they got them. This truck has let me down, I think, once on the road. Well, other than a busted throttle spring or something like that, which when your throttle spring breaks on this Kenworth, you pretty much just got to stick your toe under the throttle pedal and you can pull it back up. So it's just reverse throttle. It's not a big deal. And until you get into some traffic, and then it's a problem. I think a lot of guys are intimidated by shifting these trucks. It's really, you know, once you understand it, it's not that bad. I guess this stream's going pretty well. Is it lagging or anything like that? You guys think it's working all right? I'm really kind of surprised it's working. I'm probably going to lose my battery on my... Well, I have to plug something else in here. Good to know it's working. Brandon, are you and Jason doing a live stream tomorrow night? I hope. Good to know it's working fine. Everybody says it's working all right. It kind of sad it works better on my cell phone than it does on my Wi-Fi. So maybe I can prop this phone up here in my gloves and I can sit back and relax a little bit. That's better. Good to know the stream's working. Thank you guys for, I guess the sound's okay too, right? Appreciate you guys checking in. I was contemplating doing a live stream out here, and I just thought, well, we'll see how it goes. If everything works out, I'll winterize my boat today. There's nothing like last minute winterizing. That's not much fun, by the way. When they're all covered up, you got to uncover them, and we probably use the boat twice a year, so it's worth it. Yeah, I had to pull the cover off. I had to chase the chicken off of it first. The MSL might do some... You gonna cut while you're doing a live stream? I did a live stream when I was running my scraper the other day, just to see how it worked, and I'm not sure that went so well. I need a cameraman. Twin tigers usually aren't necessary in this temperature we have around here. Sometimes if you look at that job, I don't remember which one it was. I got a video out that's got some really clean footings. You can do some really neat work in frozen soil, actually, if it's just, a few inches down. I've been using twin tigers. The job I've been working on this week, let's see, it was Tuesday and Wednesday, was sandstone. I don't know what you prefer to call it, but it was not super hard, but it wasn't real easy digging. So I'll have a video of that one coming out in a couple weeks probably. Pretty good sized job. It was one the contractor had a couple of mini X's on. I've got a GoPro, and I'm not sure how to live stream. I think you got to have a GoPro 7 to live stream. Is that correct, or am I not correct? I've got a Hero 5 or Hero, what is that? Hero 6? I don't know. I'm not sure what I got, actually. Dang, you wore out 2 sets of teeth on the last 2 jobs. This job pretty much ate up 1 set, and it was 2 days of digging. So, twin tigers are really not that expensive, though. I mean, if you compare them to flare teeth, those are way more money. But I don't like to wear out my flare teeth trying to dig rocks, that's for sure. I save them for dirt. There's a lot of people that don't understand this business, that's for sure. I've not figured out the live stream on a 5. I think a Hero 5 is what I have. I actually been working on clearing out some brush with my twin tigers, what's left of them, on a little project up here. I think maybe, from what I hear, the new Hero, or whatever, I don't know what GoPro, what are we up to, a 6 or something like that now? They got a new one that came out there advertising it will stream. Now my drone says it will stream a 7, okay. Pretty sure did I miss something? Is there not a 6? Does GoPro Studio, it doesn't stream though, does it? I'm not real sure. I got a Hero something or another. I've actually got 2 of them. Seven is a new one. That's what I was thinking it was. Hero 7. Well, we're up to 18 folks watching. They must not have nothing better to do. The iPhone, to me, is the simplest piece of equipment, electronics I've got. And I'm sure people don't like them. The editing software I use is a really cheap program. It's called Movavi or Movavi or something like that. But it's something I understand. It's simple to use and it's fast. It doesn't do all the super high tech stuff, but I'm probably not that guy anyway. But I really like it. I mean, it makes it. I've tried some of the more expensive and higher end products on the editing, and I think if I want to make those work, I'm gonna have to upgrade my computer to something with more horsepower because it just will not. I get stuck. It gets to a point where we're just trying to get everything working and it's not working. So that's one reason I keep going back to the Movavi, or I'm sure I'm pronouncing that wrong. But for me, it works real well because it's simple and I understand it. iMovie, I tried iMovie. A lot of my first videos, I was using an Apple with iMovie, and there again, I was running into whenever you try to speed things up and you take normal video and try to add speed to it, I have a lot of problem. The editing I try to, the thing I like about the one I use is it's just familiar. It's kind of like my iPhone. I can understand it a little bit better. The thing on the time lapse is if I do the time lapse on the camera itself, it works really well. But if I take my regular video and try to speed it up, that's when I start running into a lot of lag time. It's what am I trying to think of? It just takes a lot more of your computer's processing speed. MSL had to check out, I guess. I'll have to check out his channel. I don't guess I haven't had time to really look into some of you guys' channels, but I'm probably not going to go much longer. It's starting to get cold out here. My teeth are going to start chattering. I think a lot of people try to use GoPro Studio. Whenever I go to look for that, I can't really find it. I really don't like wearing winter clothes. Whenever it gets below about 40, I'm kind of like my Kenworth. I don't like to go. I'd rather stay home, stay in bed. Got to keep that block heater plugged in so I can keep it going. My nose starts dripping about October and doesn't stop till, what is it, June, May? Something like that. I'm not sure I'm in the right climate for what I'm made for. Texas Digger, yes sir. He just subscribed to me the other day. He's got some pretty cool videos down there. He's down there in Texas. He's got a nice setup. He's got a backhoe. He's got a track hoe. He's got a dump truck, a wrecking ball. Check him out. He's a pretty good guy. Seems like. He subscribed to me yesterday. I'm glad you mentioned that, Albert. Check out Elite Earthworks. Sorry, not dirt. Earthworks LLC. He's got some pretty cool videos also. And Soldier of Dirt. Check him out. He's actually helped me to get quite a few. I don't know if am I getting all the message? I don't know if I'm getting all of them. I'm new at this, and if I miss your comment, I'm really sorry, because I'm not trying to, but they pop up on the phone and then they disappear. So I guess I can go back here a little bit, if you don't mind my finger. Yes, he started out as Jake's Backhoe on YouTube. I didn't know he was on Instagram. I'll have to check that out too. Elite Dirtworks was taken. Earthworks is fine. That sounds good to me. I'm not sure why I named my business what I named it, but you know, I'm confused. I'm Cunningham Backhoe Service, and of course on YouTube I'm digging okay, and I'm trying to be sneaky. I guess that's what I'm trying to be sneaky there. You know, don't want everybody to know me. Part of me would like for everybody to know me, but part of me is like, no, it's better if you don't. The YouTube deal's kind of weird. I didn't know it would get this big. Part of me don't want it to get any bigger, but another part of me is like, let's see what it can do. Try to keep a low profile. Yeah. I like one of the reasons I got into YouTube was JP Dirt. I've had some videos out on YouTube for years, but they were mainly for my family. Has YouTube brought me any new customers? I don't think so. I'm not really into YouTube for that reason. Like I say, I've not really promoted it on Facebook, not really promoted it on Instagram or anything like that. I've kind of taken this, and maybe it's the wrong way. Maybe you guys enlighten me a little bit. I don't know, but a part of me is afraid that if everybody knows I'm doing these videos, I'll lose business. So the best thing about YouTube is the friendships. Pretty cool people you find on here. And I wish I could get to, you know, I wish I was a little closer to some of you. Jeff Anderson has helped my channel more than anything, but he's the guy that got me interested in actually making videos, because I would watch his stuff and I could relate to working on equipment. I could relate to breaking down, being in the middle of a project, needing to get something done and you can't get it done, and I could relate to him a lot, and he has helped me. You know, I've talked to him several times. He's called me. He's been super nice. He's a super guy. Not any better people around. I think there's a fine line on what you video and what you actually put out. I try not to put anything personal. I try not to put any personal conversations unless somebody knows I'm talking to them on a video. So I think you got to be there's a fine line between, you know, probably, I'm probably crossing it already, but fine line between what I do with the videos and what I don't do. I mean, I've got conversations on video. I'm not going to put them on YouTube. Um, and the same, like I said earlier, if there's a subject or a job that I might if there's a job that I could get somebody in trouble on, I'm not going to post a video on it. That would be a bad thing to do, in my opinion. But I didn't know you could actually make money on YouTube until, you know, I got started into it. And it's like, wow, you can actually make money. And I did make $100. It took me like a year and a half. And then YouTube changed the policy where you had to have 1,000 subscribers. And then they cut me off. But now I'm back in the money again, so I might make another $100 soon. I don't know. We'll see. I'm not sure how to get promoted on YouTube. Diamond Rio got back his monetization. He's got some pretty good videos with a lot of views on them. If you I didn't quite catch that comment there. Sorry, I had caught a few come in. Diamond Rio's got some pretty cool. Damn, my nose is dripping. Pretty cool mechanicing videos. He's got some neat stuff. He's got some neat equipment. Pretty cool backhoe, trackhoe. Is that dozer or track? He's got a dozer, I believe. Little case. Old junk. Well, he makes it look good, that's for sure. Got a dozer and a trackhoe. He's got some neat stuff. He's a good guy. Check him out. But like I said, the YouTube deal, I didn't know you could make money at it. I thought it was just kind of for fun, but I wasn't sure if those were the same size or not. You got a dozer and a loader. That's pretty cool. How's the trackhoe coming along? He's got a hi-ho. Is that what it's called? That's quite a machine. I kind of wonder, you know, there are people out there that make a living off YouTube. That might be a weird life. He does have a hi-ho. And he has no time to play with. Well, he's probably making money out with his regular job, so he can afford to buy pretty cool toys. Or machines. They're not toys, they're machines, right? You gotta be careful how you phrase some things, especially when you're talking to your wife. There's a lot of neat things I'd like to buy, but I gotta be careful how I talk to them. They're not toys, they're actually tools or machines I can make money with. I would like to buy a few more machines around here, but it's kind of where I'm at. Well, that's cool. She tells you to go for it. Look like she's pretty good help for you too most of the time. Big boys with big toys, that's a fact. When I started into this business, I thought I could make it work on $5,000 a month, and I think when I started it did for a little while, but man, sometimes I look back and say, why didn't I do something different? It's been a tough, you know, it's been tough, but we've actually done pretty well. I mean, I can't look at my life and say it's been horrible. It's been pretty good. I love going to work every day. If that means anything to anybody. I mean, that's worth a little bit to me. I hate it whenever I've got equipment broke down and I need to fix it. Fuel prices they've been a little rough recently, but they're getting better. I wish you could have seen my wife's face when I hauled that old link belt home. Oh my gosh, a unit front shovel. Ain't you lucky? Man. It is worth a lot, Brandon. A bad day at work is not as bad probably when you're self-employed as, well, a bad day at work's usually you're sitting at the house. But you know, it's funny, people tell me, well, you're your own boss, and I'm like, no, I got more bosses than you got, because actually I've got more customers, and every customer I got is my boss. So I've got a lot of bosses. I can tell them no. I can tell a lot of people no, I don't work for you, and I have done that before. It's not good for business, not good for bottom line. So I'm not saying I put up with a lot of crap, but sometimes you got to put up with some. And the attitude, I had an attitude shift, probably went along, I don't know if it was 6 years into the business or maybe 10. I had an attitude change, and my attitude went from, I don't know if I ought to share this on here or not, but my attitude went from, I would get a crappy job and I would say, well, you know, they just want me over because it's a crappy job and they know I can do it better than they can do it. And I was really hurting. It was tough. You can set your own hours, sun up to sundown's usually what, if you can, that's usually what you work. But my attitude shift happened, and I think things have gotten better since then, because you have to understand, if you're a good operator and somebody calls you because they're digging around a high voltage power line, don't get mad. Take it as a compliment. And that's when things started shifting for me. It's like, the reason that guy called me wasn't because he wanted to give me the crappy job. He understood that I'm the guy that can handle it. So my attitude shift went from, everybody's out to get me, to everybody's out to get me. And they need me. They need a good operator. So you got to look at things a little different, and you will if you're self-employed. I guarantee you, it's tough business. Specialized is a good word for it. I've been in business since 1999. I have not solely used my business to make my wages. I'll do side jobs, I'll do mechanic work, I'll do welding jobs, whatever it takes to get us through is what I do. So it's not a real glamorous life at times. My dad used to be a plumber, and he had a commercial plumbing business, so it's not off my radar to go out and do a water line project, sewer line project, something like that. So I like to hear that. You make a good living off of jobs nobody else wants to do. There's a lot that goes, probably the biggest problem with being self-employed and in the commercial field now, if you're self-employed and you're just out working for farmers or working for local people, insurance is not that big of a deal. You do need insurance. Don't get me wrong. You need liability insurance, but when you get to the point I'm at with the sewer line repairs, are always fun. When you get to the point I'm at with these, commercial jobs, and they're requiring a $2 million policy and $2 million umbrella, my insurance bill is most of my problem. I mean, it's the biggest. It's one of the biggest expenses I have. It's tax write-off. Underground insurance. I mean, that's basically where I'm at. But also, the truck hauling the equipment that's probably about as big as the underground. So when you sign up for insurance, there goes 3 or 4 days of your wages every month. So it's not all fun. Eric tells me to run a farm tag like he does. Yeah, I'm glad you joined me, Eric. Where you been? But as far as people that have, I've thought about the farm tag deal, but when you run to Oklahoma City every day, I think they'll catch me. Eventually, they're going to get on to me on that deal. Truck tags are not cheap they're based on the weight, so I think that's about $500 a year or something like that. Can't think of what else I was going to say. I probably run about the cheapest truck I could buy. I mean, it's nothing spectacular or fancy. My trailer cost more than my truck did. Most important thing I got on that is brakes. I need good brakes. It's kind of funny in the, what is it, almost 20 years I've been working. I've only had one full inspection on my truck when I stopped by a DOT guy, and he gave me a ticket for not having a chain on the front bucket and the back bucket. So for the most part, I've been pretty fortunate. I've had one ticket in 19 years. That's not too bad. Could be a lot worse, and I may get more. I don't know. If you keep your brakes adjusted, you keep your truck in pretty good shape. I mean, they notice things like wipe the dirt off your clear hubcaps so you can see the oil in there. They notice stuff like that. Grease your grease zerks. They notice that stuff. I went for, that was 4 years ago. Never chained the front bucket down. Dirt on the trailer is probably good to keep, brushed off. If you can get if you can buy with a farm tag, that's fine. I mean, I probably could. I have a farm. I have cows. I have horses, cows, goats. We've got 80 acres here, so I could probably get away with the farm tag. It's just one of them deals that if you soldier dirt, the funny thing about the chains is I had buckets sitting on the front of my trailer with no chains on them. The ones they're concerned with are the hydraulically attached buckets. Those are the ones they want chains on. And I asked them 5 times and said, do I need boomers on them? No, you just need a chain on them. So the thing I've learned about the DOT is depending on which one you talk to on which day, you're going to get a different answer, because I've got a nephew that's a DOT, or he was a DOT inspector for a little bit. He's just a trooper now, but it's all up to a lot of interpretation. So I've been fortunate. I haven't had a lot of money going out there, and I haven't ever been red tagged. Funny little story about this truck is when I bought it and brought it home, I started digging through the glove box, and I think I found 3 red tags in it. So first thing I did with this truck when I bought it was I pulled every air line off of it. I replaced them. It's got the old braided hoses with the replaceable ends, and I put all new brake lines on it. Tried to fix everything I could up to, you know, with as much money as I had. Tried to get everything good. And that's been a good investment. I mean, it's been a good truck for me. We're up to 22. Come on, guys. Tell me who's here. Well, Frank, I had the same argument, and I even protested that ticket because it was the front bucket. It has no coupler. The back bucket had no coupler. No way. I mean, it's one of those silly things that they got written down in the rules. If it's hydraulically attached to your machine, which means if it's on a front loader or the back loader, they want it chained down to the truck. The buckets in front of my other bucket, I've never had a chain on them. And I've had several stops, and I've never had an officer say those need to be chained too. It's kind of silly. No, Eric, I am not chaining outriggers. And until a trooper tells me I need to, I'm not chaining outriggers. Brandon, you will, if you can get away without chaining that bucket, that's fine, but the thing I do here is I put a safety chain on it. I don't tighten it. I don't boom it. An excavator would be nice. If I can ever afford to get one, I'd like to have one. Good to hear from you. I'm glad you like the channel. Brandon, have you been stopped yet? Just curious. Twice? Was it bad, or was it just like? There's been guys around here that's been ticketed really bad. I mean, ridiculous. Bad enough to make you want to just quit. Chains on the ramps. I don't have chains on mine. 2 minor things. The funny thing about the safety chain across my back bucket, it doesn't really, I mean, if the pins fell out of the bucket, it'd still fall off. But anyway, I had a trooper stop me one day and he said, well, I didn't see that chain on there because it wasn't tight. After he saw I had a chain on it, he said, well, how did he put that? I don't know. Anyway, he said looks are important. He said that, howdy, case man. He said looks are important. You need to have that chain on there. You need to have it tight. So it's hard to tighten a chain on something that has the hydraulic tension on a bucket actually creeps. So it's pretty tough to do. Dirt on the trailer and breakaway to the truck wasn't hooked up right. Uh-oh. Dirt on the trailer, breakaway wasn't hooked up right. If you moved a D8, you'd have to chain, blade, and ripper. That's the way it is up here in Oklahoma. Eric says he's seen a lot of backhoes going down the road with a ratchet strap around the outriggers. It's coming, I'm telling you, because they're hydraulically attached, and that's the way the troopers see it here. So I probably should put one on mine because it's going to happen. I've been just noticed today, DOT guys are the most ruthless cops. I think there's two different kinds of them. I think there's guys out there that are actually trying to keep people safe, and then I think there's those out there that it goes to their head. Those are bad people. They got that power. But a lot of the guys I've ran across are not that bad. I mean, if you're reasonable with them. I don't know what riding dirty is, but I guess that'd be with dirt on your trailer. Is that riding dirty? Up to 23 people. So, I know I got guys wanting to watch some welding. Good gosh, 350,000 a month. $200 for dirt on your trailer. Yeah, the younger guys, I think they're out to make a name for themselves. Although there are some older ones out there too that they never changed. But like I say, I can't complain a lot about it. Been a good deal for me. I'm gonna start Little Red up. You mind? It's kind of getting cold in here. You might not be able to hear me. Can you hear me now? Did I lose you? I got the heater. Can you hear me though? Is it gonna work? Alright. I got the heater on, but my temperature gauge is on 0. It might not warm me up. It might sound cool though. I have no heat in my shop. I do have a space heater. I haven't pulled it out this year yet. If I run Little Red in here long enough, I won't be able to breathe. I have a small cam 290 in this truck. All still good. I didn't know how the sound would be with the engine running, fan running. I'm not really getting any warmer. I need some shop insulation. If Eric could come over here and help me get it insulated, it'd be good. I'll give you a little shot of the truck. It's dirty, it's kind of nasty, but I'll show you my gauges. I got engine temperature on oil temperature. I got amp meter, oil pressure, water temperature. There's our tachometer, speedometer. We got over here, we've got boost pressure. Let me turn some lights on here. Maybe you can see them. Boost pressure, we got rear axle temp, main trans temp. We got air pressure, that's application pressure. And then my switches. If I'd have had time, I'd have cleaned it up for you. I'm sorry I didn't, but anyway, it's a neat little truck. I like it a lot. And it's not making any heat. I'm gonna turn it off. It's blowing cold air. Which introductions do you like? I think I missed a couple here. Mr. Simmons, which introductions do you like the best? I haven't been that clever probably lately with some of them, but if you guys haven't checked out J Pay Dirt, check him out. He's the guy that has inspired me to do 98% of what I'm doing. He's made it a lot more fun. Sammy's barking at his shadow again. Hey, Jimmy's here. How you doing? To the Top Crane. There's another guy to check out. He's got some pretty neat crane footage. He's got some crane footage I've never seen before. Different views, and he gets into some interesting stuff. I'm not sure how much longer I'm going to run the stream, but last time I streamed, I think I lost 20 subscribers. I hope that doesn't happen again. This one's going a little better, maybe. I think the last one I advertised it and it didn't work, so. Jimmy wants to get a drone. He's got a pretty good one, just a camera up on top of that boom. That's a pretty good view. Baco drone is a good one. Brandon uses that on his little Traco. I call it little. That's a pretty good sized machine, actually. Eric, this truck started because I just ran it like 30 minutes ago, driving it in the barn. Oh, yeah, I put the camera up on my shop door sometimes, drive under it, drive over it. I'll try to get some more of those shots in. I kind of like it too. I have I believe it's a 120, or what do they call that? A 1247-15, something like that. But I was talking about that earlier. I want to take my old 10-speed and turn it into an overdrive and put it back in here because I really don't need the 15, and I've got a weird vibration in the 15, and I don't need a breakdown. But it is a 15-speed overdrive, so you have, I'll kind of show you here. Don't mind my trash, my ugly face. This is a Road Ranger, and what you've got is you've got a high-low switch. You hear it click. You got five gears in low. You go through the pattern, except for when you get over here, we go over here to 4th, and then up here to 5th, and then we pull this up. We go back over here to 1st, which will be 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th. This is an RT, not an RTX. This is an RTO, rather. RTO has your overdrive is, well, come on. Don't want to go there, it went. Overdrive's up against the dash on a RTO. RTX, they shift just like the regular one. So the difference with a 10 and a 15 is this little blue button right here by my thumb. It won't shift when you're in high range. You put it in low range, you can kick it into 5 low gears. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and they are at a really low, or a lower ratio. So you've got an extra reverse. So you've actually got 3 reverse gears. You got 15 forward. Now when you come out of, let's say you shift up to 5th gear in low range. What I usually do when I come out of there is I'll pull it back here, I'll pull that back, and I'll go right back into the same gear. And then I'll continue back over to here. So you don't have an even spacing between the bottom 5 and the next 5, if that makes any sense. It's a little different setup. I'm not sure what's going on here. I would love a 13 speed, Clayton. 13 speed would be awesome. That's what I was looking for when I found the 15, and I would really like to find one. So Brandon, what do we know about this? Did you hit a phone line or something? Albert, thank you for stopping in with me. Yeah, I don't know what happened with the phone line there, or the internet. Surely he's not responsible for the internet going down. That would be terrible. We got to have internet. I think I lost a few viewers there. They're dropping off. Sorry if that description of the transmission, if it didn't make any sense, I'm sorry. I'll try to explain it a little better maybe someday. But anyhow, these old trucks is 300 pair, but it was junk. Hey, I like them ones that are junk. I've come across the fiber optic. Boy, I tell you what, scared me to death. And then we found out it was junk, and that was a big relief. Can't afford them things. Busted gas lines are probably busted gas lines are probably one of the, I don't know, I've got into more of them than phone lines. If you're in the business, it's going to happen. Especially if you're digging sewers. If you're digging for plumbers or utilities, you're going to get them. I don't care how good you are, you're going to get them. Very nerve-wracking. Them cranes can take out utilities too, Jimmy. The mismarked lines, I tell you what makes me madder than anything is when the utility guys come out and mark their lines and they're not there. And you spend all your time trying to find something and you don't find it. It's hit and miss. This business, you're going to hit lines. The bucket does find them. I've been lucky and I've come across some stuff that I'm assuming what you're saying by force main is a pressurized sewer. Oh wow, that would be bad. Pressurized sewer is bad. Diamond Rio digs in them tank farms. He's digging around some dangerous stuff up there where he's at. That would be pretty bad, you know. But he's a good operator. I've seen what he's done. He sent me some pictures of stuff, and he's one of those guys that I'm sure they call on him when it looks like a tough one. Dang, Clayton, you've been in some bad stuff. I know there was a guy up here at Mulhall. We had a tornado that went through here in '99, and it devastated the town. But the sewer lagoon was overflowing, and pretty much had a whole ditch full of what's in a sewer lagoon. I'm not gonna say, but he flipped his Traco over in that mess, and he just about, I think he about ate it. I mean, he went down with the door on the bottom side, and probably pretty lucky he got out of it. Pretty crappy stuff there. I've been pretty lucky on that. I've cut into some sewer lines, but they were gravity. Boy, that's a fact. You get into them old, it's like digging around downtown Oklahoma City. You get into some of that old stuff, and you don't know what was in there. You don't know, and the locators, they try their best. I mean, those guys, I'm not knocking them. They do the best they can with what they got, but their maps are not complete. as good as their technology is, it's not as good as it should be. I mean, they still miss things too, but the old stuff's tough, that's for sure. One of the worst places I've been is out on a like an Air Force base or something like that. It seems like they like to put new stuff in, and they don't always track where it was at, I don't think. I've been wanting to ask you, Jimmy, about the wind farm deal. Sorry to hear about the operator got killed, but the wind farm, to me, that'd probably be one of the worst jobs a crane guy could get, because you know it's going to be windy where they're working. It's always windy there. I know the average wind speed and some of the places out here is about 20 mile an hour, and I mean that's an average, so you're going to get worse winds than that. But don't know that I'd want to run a crane on something like that. Those are some big ones. Yes and no. I guess that means lots of night work. They would probably have to take advantage of that, I'm sure. That'd be dangerous work though, as tall as those things are. There's a ton of them going around north of us and out west of us out here. Lots and lots of them. So what's everybody got going on this weekend? Anything fun? Me and my son are gonna go to Eric's gonna try to get me wound up. I've been telling Eric the wind farms slow down the wind so that changes the climate. I didn't say it caused global warming. I just said it changes the climate. If you slow the wind down though, it's gonna change the climate. Now that's as far as I'm gonna go on that. To the Top's working tomorrow. Me and my son are going to go to the biggest gun show in the United States in Tulsa Sunday. At least that's the plan. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. Probably ought to be working, but I've heard there's 5 miles of guns to walk through. I don't know if we'll make it that far, but we're going to give it a go. We've never been to that one. He likes old military stuff. Finally gonna get a jib video out. Elite's doing honeydews. You better keep them up. Happy wife, happy life, right? Maybe. What's everybody else doing this weekend? Eric, what are you doing? I need to wear my hiking boots. Yep. Come on down, Jimmy. That's not that far from, well, that's a ways up there, I guess, from where you're at. My mom's birthday is, she turned 80 today. So, celebrated that. Eric's setting shingles on a roof for roofers. I wish he'd hurry up and get that house done. He's been dragging that deal out forever. Eric don't trust his own help. Thank you, Jimmy. Mom might be watching. I'm not sure. I got her a new iPad, or it's actually a tablet. I got her a new tablet today, so she did get to watch one of my live streams, I think, but trying to be on good behavior. So what else is going on this weekend? We got Oklahoma has what, football. I'm not a football fan. Everybody talks about football. I don't like sports much. I guess it's because I don't know, not that kind of guy. But got bedlam going on, I guess, here. Thank you guys for wishing her happy birthday. If she's not watching now, she'll probably watch it later. I was hoping she'd speak up, but Jimmy, it's good to hear there's somebody else that don't watch much sports. I don't feel so alone now. Didn't really bother me, but you know, it's good to have somebody out there that understands. OSU and OU are playing, I think, this weekend. These are shop lights. Just put in some LEDs. It's been dark here for a while. This time change is something I'd sure wish they'd stop doing. College wrestling. Well, you know, Eric used to be a wrestler. He might still be a wrestler. I don't know. He was pretty good at it. Did you wrestle, Jimmy? Well, the time change, I'm not sure that, I think now we're on normal time. I wish they'd just move it like 30 minutes and just stop moving it. Who was that? I need to put those lights. Who's Debbie that says I need to put the lights in? I'm not sure. Jimmy's been wrestling since he was 10. Yeah, darkness is not fun at 5 o'clock. Ah, Debbie is Diamond Rio's other half. Well, I'm glad you joined us. You want me to show you the lights? I actually put fluorescents in out here, and then I converted them over to the new LEDs, and I kind of like them. They're a lot brighter than the old ones was, but I can show you. I mean, it's probably, I think my battery's doing okay now, but they're just the, I actually just bought the conversion kit, and what you do is you change out the tombstones on the old fixtures, and then all you got to do is put these bulbs in. It's a pretty simple deal. They work really good. Lights it up pretty good in here. There's still a couple of dark spots, lots of junk around here, but anyhow. I don't know what I'm doing with this phone here. I lost my comments. Where'd they go? Okay, there they are. I'm making more work for Frank. I'm sorry. Well, it sounded to me like she treats you pretty good, so come on now. Oh, yeah, I got to looking at the price of replacing my ballast in my old fluorescents as opposed to putting new bulbs in. It was cheaper just to buy new bulbs, and I bought them off of eBay. I can't remember. No, it was Amazon actually, but I was able to buy all those bulbs. It was less than half price of I think it was half price of what I was going to spend on ballast alone, and they were all going bad. I mean, I think this barn, we put these, well, we built this place out here in 2010, so, or no, 2006. I'm not right. I'm not good with dates, I guess, but anyway. But yes, you do need some lights, Frank. Be good. You gotta have lights. It never fails though. It seems like anytime I'm out here working, I gotta have an extra light somewhere, so I probably need more. Oh boy, sheetrock, that is not my deal. I'm not good at sheetrock. So we got well, this stream's not doing too bad. I guess we got a few people on here, but what's the weather like out there, Frank? Or Diamond Rio? You having a lot of rain too? Getting cold. I can imagine. My nephew says there's something called easy soffit panel. Poured down rain today. 20s this weekend. Yee, 13 sounds cold. I think our high in the morning, what was it supposed to be? I've heard two reports. One was 20 and one was, well, one's 23 and the other one's like 18, something like that. Not my kind of weather, that's for sure. I'd kind of like to hibernate. Maybe someday I'll insulate this barn, get some heat in it. But in Oklahoma, it's not that bad. Normally, I can run my. I've got a diesel-powered space heater, and it'll warm it up in 20, 30 minutes, no bigger than it is. So it's not that bad. Not too bad at all, really. Summertime, it does get hot out here, but you can usually wait till evening or something like that and cool off. So not too bad. Eric ought to just come out there and help you do the sheetrock. He knows how to do it. He's pretty good at it. Brandon got cold when he got out of the excavator. I got cold a little bit too, but I ended up back in the backhoe. So Clayton says yes, Clayton. I've rebuilt several engines under, a little shed with a dirt floor. I'm pretty happy to have what I have. It's perfect for what I do, and the shop I built here has been used more than you would understand. I mean, it's part of the business. I mean, it's part of what I do. It was probably one of the best investments I've made, is having a good place to work, because there's times when it's 20 degrees and it's sleeting, and it's pretty tough to be under a tree. But I know you've probably done it. I've had to be out there doing it too, but man, it's nice to be inside. 315 and 977 won't fit in your tiny building. That was the problem I had in town. We had a small shop in there, and when I pulled the engine out of my Kenworth, I pulled it with my backhoe, and I set it up in the building because I only had an 8-foot door. I couldn't get my truck inside. So once I got the truck or the engine inside, I was, good to go. But I've rebuilt a few engines in dirt floor barns. I've seen a lot of guys use a tree and a chain hoist. Gets the job done. That's the important thing. A part of me sometimes would like to take everything to a shop and get it done, but there's another part of me that every time I've tried that, and every time I've handed somebody my piece of equipment and said, here, take care of it for me, I've gotten it back. And anybody that knows me can testify to this. When I get it back, it's like, Why did I do that? I would have been better off to fix it myself. It'll go into the shop with one problem, it comes back with 3 new ones. I'm like, how did that happen? I didn't have 3 problems, I had 1. Just fix that one. And you know, they always take longer than they say they're going to, so for my benefit, I guess it's probably best for my health if I fix my own stuff. I'm gonna pull the top off. We've pulled the. I work for a plumber, and there's a lot of jobs they'll get into inside of buildings, and we'll pull the ROPS off those minis quite a bit to get them in the building. And they'll hire me to come in and run them. I've ran them for them several days. You know, that's pretty. You know, it's not too bad pulling them off. Little deers aren't too bad, don't seem like. Tractor inner tube and a piece of plywood to drop transmissions. Transmission jobs are the worst out in the dirt. Boy, those get nasty. Because you get the oil in the dirt and then yeah. One of the times the Kenworth let me down on the highway was had a water pump lock up on it. I mean, just driving down the road 60 mile an hour, and I mean the belts just started squalling. And by the time I pulled over to the side of the road, the belts were gone off the water pump. There's 2 belts that drive it, and bearing just seized up. And I called my dad. I was down about 15 miles from home. I was on the interstate on I-35, and I called my dad to come down. As soon as he got there, I called Kenworth. They had a water pump, so I had Dad sit with the truck. I took his pickup, went to Kenworth, and it was about this kind of weather. It was starting to get pretty cold when that happened, and went to Kenworth, picked up the pump, belts, gaskets, and I think I got home that night about 10 o'clock. And boy, there's just some days tougher than others. But you got to get through them. Brian, I make most of my money with a backhoe. I've got a 930 case tractor and a scraper and an old crane out here, but it's just kind of for just a hobby. Nothing major, you know. I would like to have more equipment. My dad has some dozers, and I've got an old dozer out here I need to fix. The tough days, I tell you what they do is when you get through a really tough week. Hey, Daltex. When you get through a really tough week and nothing breaks, you look at that week and you thank God that was a good week. You know what I mean? Until you've been through the ringer a few times, you don't understand how good it is. If it can't be done with a backhoe, it doesn't need to be done. Well, that's kind of the way my business works. If somebody calls me and needs something done and I can't do it, I'll normally tell them, you know, you're going to have to get somebody else. But there's not a lot of backhoe can't do. So, what's the right guy on it? I would like to have a 120, 130 size excavator. Eric will bring his Mini X if I get in a bind. We're going to have a dig off, Eric. We're going to do it someday. Clayton, the tractor loader backhoe has kept me and my family. That's how we've made it mostly. I mean, I've done side jobs, I've done some odd stuff, but for the most part, you cannot beat the income you can get off a tractor loader backhoe, in my opinion. I mean, there's less upkeep, there's less maintenance, they're cheap to operate too. I'd love to have a track hoe, dozer, but I'd really like to get a track hoe that's big enough to take out some good sized trees. Like a 120 John Deere I could probably handle hauling that with Little Red and not really be overweight. That would be ideal someday, you know. There's always that other toy I need. Always, well, you can't say they're toys. You gotta quit saying that. What do you call them, Eric? Investments? Yeah. If I had 10 million, I wouldn't be thinking about a crane. 315 cat. Yeah, those are a good size machine too. When I'm loaded up with all my buckets, I'm running 39,000 pounds. Oh, you call them business ventures? I like that. That's better than what you used to call them. There always will be another machine you think you need. The deal with my business is it's just me. If I had employees, I'd probably try to, I'd have to have more equipment, but someday your wife's going to understand what that means, Eric. She'll say it's just another toy. Until I can run two at the same time, I don't really see the need to buy more than what I've got. A little ingenuity is a fact. The thing about a backhoe is they're intimidating by a lot of people. If a new guy gets on one, they think all you can do is you can drive this thing forward, pick up dirt with a loader and dump it, and then when it gets to the backhoe part, it scares crap out of them because I don't know why. The backhoe's always, to me, has always been the most versatile machine on any job. It's not big enough to do mass excavation or anything like that, but there's been several jobs I've been into. I can build a house pad with a backhoe. I can dig the footings. I can dig the sewers. You can do the complete job with one if you know what you're doing. Granted, I'm not sure I can. One thing I have trouble with is I don't think I'm quite as good at spreading gravel as Brandon is with his track loader. He does a pretty good job. I think them guys that put backhoes on top of trains are crazy, but that's just my opinion, Jimmy. I don't think I'd want any part of that. I did some gravel spreading. I bought a couple loads, or I had a load delivered out here. You see guys do stuff like that all the time, and it's just like me digging footings. I do that all the time. So when it comes to some of the other things, I'm not as good at it, but usually get through the job, get it done. Well, guys, I'm gonna shut this down. I appreciate you guys watching. I appreciate you guys tuning in tonight. Should have gave you a warning. Maybe, I don't know. Not sure if a warning's better. But Brandon, you'll get the footings down. I know you will. You just need some encouragement. Keep your teeth sharp. Most important thing on digging footings is sharp teeth. I'm telling you. I'm gonna sign off. Hope you guys join me on the new video tomorrow night. We'll talk to you later, if I know how to shut this thing down. Thank you guys for watching.